Guys out here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. I'm glad to have you guys here. Man, I was just looking, 1,300 videos uploaded on Raid Shadow Legends throughout the last few years. Thank you, whether you've been with me from the beginning of the Raid journey, or maybe back from the Clash days on my other channel, or if you're a new viewer, just wanted to take just a quick second out in the beginning of this video and honestly express some gratitude towards you guys. I always say this, but thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day to join me talking Raid Shadow Legends. It's one of like my many little intro things that I just repeat and repeat, but I truly mean it, man. To me, looking at this is like a disturbing stat, to be honest with you guys, and also a very humbling one. But looking at the amount of watch hours on a video, forget views and stuff like that, like watch hours, and it's like, you know, hundreds of thousands. It gets me thinking, dude, am I wasting like millions of hours of people's time? Hopefully not. Hopefully you get a little bit of, you know, positivity, put in a better mood, whatever, and hopefully a little bit of raid knowledge too in the content. So anyway, guys, thank you is what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to persuade you to click off the video. Like, do something better with your time, guys. Click off! I'm gonna do 4 artifact tips, guys. They're kind of newish ones, right? One of these, the first one that I give you, I didn't even know it up until a couple days ago, right? So brand new stuff here. I guarantee you're gonna learn something from today's video, so stay tuned. Actually, let's just jump into it. We've already done enough of a preamble today. Let's start with the Forge. So you guys already know that the Forge has some of the best stuff you can get your hands on in the game. It has like 4 of my favorite sets in the game. Outside of like Stone Skin, I guess. I mean, in Relentless, maybe Stone Skin, Relentless, I put on the same tier. But it has Perception, right? It has, obviously, Lethal. And then it has Righteous, plus 10% speed and Resist. And then it also has Bolster, which I love as well. Defiance, really good. I mean, there's so many good sets here. It's the best stuff in the game, right? So take advantage. That's not a tip. Just side note. Just kind of setting the table here, right?
Stop it. Get some help.
The tip is, boy, take advantage of Substat charms. Look at me. I'm clearly not taking advantage of Substat charms, right? Well, speed, I have 1 speed because I'm just lazy and I throw speed on perception gear, right? But I was never super keen on it. I throw crit rate on lethal as well. I have a little crappy graphic that I made for you guys if you want to screenshot it for some inspiration. But these are my favorite Substat charms to use on each set, right? So Guardian HP, Bolster HP, Defiant, Defense, Righteous, Speed or Resist, Fortitude, Resist, Perception, Speed or Accuracy, and Lethal, crit rate, crit damage. Obviously not on the gauntlets there as well. Obvious tip here, but if you're like trying to craft speed boots, don't use a speed Substat charm or you're gonna ruin your speed boots, right? Now, with that said, I've ignored substats for a long time, and then I saw a video by my man Saf from HH Gaming. I'll link it for you guys in the show notes below. But just like so many of his videos, dude, he's got a banging channel, dude. He goes in depth, super granular with code and all this stuff that we don't really do too much here on the channel, right? And I learned so much. And one of the big ones is, this is like the 3rd or 4th time that he's found something in the game that's wrong. Okay, so the reason I didn't use Substat charms for a long time, or very few and far between, I talked about the exceptions, right, is because of this. It says it right in the game and it's wrong again. Plarium, what are you doing, man?
You know what's really crazy, though? I've been working here for about a year and I've never even seen Mr. Plarium. Wait, no, Jake, wait, Jake! Come on, man.
How Substat charms work. Okay, Substat charms increase the odds of getting a specific substat. You will have a 50% chance of getting your desired stat on the first substat on your artifact. This increased chance applies only to the first substat. Wrong. It's wrong. Not many people, at least people that I talk to and stuff, people in my clan, we don't really care too much about the these Substat charms, right? When I see Substat charms in my clan shop and stuff like that, I don't get too excited about it. You know, I might buy them here and there, but yeah, man, like Substat charms, who cares? Because I thought it only applied to the first Substat, thus not a very good chance at all, unless we're talking like rare artifacts, right? Like a 50-50. But then it gets worse the higher the rarity, and it sucks, right? It sucks. Those odds suck. They're a waste of time. They're a waste. But they're wrong. So Saf reached out to Raid Shadow Legends. He said, hey, dude, I think you're wrong here. I'm not getting this, like, I'm getting speed on my second stat when I'm using speed substats, blah, blah, blah. Because in the chances as well, they say this: the selected substat will be excluded from the possible substat option for any second, third, or fourth substats the artifact may have, even if not selected as the first substat. Again, it will be excluded if you don't get it. So they're saying in the game, they're saying that, for example, I want to farm some resilience gear. I want, I don't know, defense. Oops. I want defense. There we go. If I don't get it on the first substat, I'm not going to get it at all. That's not right. It's false. It's wrong in game. You get a 50% shot of getting it on every substat. So substat gear now is great. Again, I showed you that image. I'll show you it one more time, but you might want to start looking for especially HP, resistance, speed, accuracy, crit rate, crit damage.
What's left?
Well, I guess all of them, huh? These substats are extremely valuable. It's the best way to dictate what artifacts you're going to get on your account. Okay, have I made my point? I think so. That's crazy, by the way. They said to Saf in his screenshot, again, I'll link the video if you want to go really deep dive on this, but they said to him, oh, we better change that in the game. That's wrong.
Okay, how about this?
Nothing.
That's great.
I want it to be better than great, Pam.
Well, it's all wrong. It's a lot of wrong info, man. Tip number 2 is going to be something that clearly I'm not doing a lot of, but boy, should I. It's resilience. We don't have to go anywhere here. So perception and resilience, you can get these artifacts, like they're so easy to farm, right? Because you get them just from Classic Arena and from Faction Wars. Same thing with resilience. We get the Magisteel from Classic Arena, and we get the Willstones from Faction Wars. So we get a lot of resilience, material to make this. When I say resilience, what's the first thing that you think of, guys? It shouldn't be the set. It should be silver. If you're silver broke, or maybe you just want a ton of clan versus clan points in the next clan versus clan that you're in, carry your team. They'll say, hey, why'd you get so many clan points? What'd you do, man? Did you pull 1 million legendaries? Did you burn all of 50,000
Money.
No, I just farmed 1,272 pieces of resilience gear.
Money.
Because this is the best way to get silver outside of Spider in the game, or maybe alongside Spider. It doesn't cost you energy, really, right? Well, it doesn't, flat out, because obviously Classic Arena nor Faction Wars costs energy. What I'm trying to say, guys, is the best way to get silver. Every clan versus clan, you should just save up all of your resilience gear. Resilience is not the worst set, but it's not a great set either, right? 10% HP, 10% defense. It's okay in a pinch to add on there. So, hey, if you get a good piece, maybe you keep it. I'm not telling you have to sell everything. But what you should do is just keep crafting. Don't use any charms. Don't waste any charms here, right? But just keep crafting a ton of them, right? And just sell them all. This is an incredible way to get silver. Sells. I wish there was a sell all button, man. I really do. But I'm not gonna, I don't even care what I get here, really, for the most part. I'm just gonna keep selling. And I'm getting what, 30,000, 70,000, 35,000, 30,000. I'm getting a lot of silver here. It's gonna add up. You're gonna get millions of silver. And think about how much more I can get. And clan versus clan points. Use resilience artifacts, forge resilience artifacts to make a bunch of silver, guys, especially if you're silver broke. I'm gonna go forge a ton after this video. Tip number 3 is Ascension strategy, okay? So Ascension's been in the game for a while now. We know Sand Devil's Necropolis, and I know not all of you are able to clear some of the higher stages of Sand Devil's Necropolis, but it doesn't matter where you are. Most of you guys should be able to farm the early stages. I don't even care which stage. It could be stage 1. It doesn't really matter to me. I farm stage 7 because I just do ninja solo. Do I even have that? Nah, but I just do a solo champion, right? So almost all of you guys, you can farm any of these early stages, right? So what I want you to do is farm a ton of lesser oils. Farm a ton of them. Whenever you don't know what to do with your energy or whatever, just farm some lesser oils. And then what I want you guys to do is go to your artifact selection area, your artifact area. And I want you to start with boots. Okay, let's look at my top champions, right? Or look at all of my champions, I think, right? Look at their boots. 1-star ascension. 1-star ascension, 1-star ascension. Ooh, 6-star ascension. Attack percentage. I can see why. But I can keep going. 1-star ascension, 6-star ascension. 1-star, 1-star. You guys get the point here, right? They're all rolled up. All of my boots on my entire account, I have at least 1 star ascended to see what my stat is going to be. If it's speed, that's great. That's what we're after, right? So how do we do this? I mean, it's pretty basic, but go to all the champions you use the most. Most of them are going to be in speed boots, maybe like, what, 95% of them? And just start using your lesser oils just to see if you're going to get speed. Because speed, ascension, on speed boots,
You changed the future.
that's the holy grail of ascension. That's what we're looking for. And then at that point, you can take your time and farm them all the way up to max and get that extra speed. So you go to your fastest champions, like Siffy, for example, on my account. She's gonna get an extra 12 speed. I mean, I can't tell you guys enough how much a 57 speed artifact is worth on these champions. It is unbelievably good, right? So we want to make sure that we're using our lesser oils to get speed. What about that? I've done that. So, well, where to start? I'm all over the place. Sorry, guys. I get excited when I talk about artifacts. Get very passionate here. What you want to do is start with your perception and your speed gear, right? So speed boots, you want to go to all your speed boots on your account that are part of the speed set, right? And you want to get them up 1 star just to see if you can get that speed on them, right? And then go do the same thing for perception, and then you can branch out beyond those sets, right? Because speed and perception are, at least for me, my most used sets on my speedy champions in the game. Righteous, I guess you could add as well now, right? Okay, so that's first. Then what do we do after we're done with all of our ascension on our boots? We want to go to our gauntlets, but we want to filter. Now that we have this priority stats, it's unbelievable. I love this feature. We want to go to all our nukers and try to get crit damage on gauntlets. That's the second thing that we want to do, right? So crit damage, we're going to rank it as high, right? And then we're going to go down here and we're going to click hide set filters. Now, I would start obviously on lethal and savage, right? But I can hide set filters here. Okay, we didn't do it. There we go. There we go. And then I want to go to equipped. Click equipped. And these are all my gauntlets, right? So I just come over here and you can see I haven't done it a lot on my account yet, but you can see it right here. Crit damage with crit damage. Ooh, that's juicy. That is juicy, man. So I want to start with all my nukers, and I want to try to get them with crit damage. Let's just upgrade this right now, right? I got quite a bit of oil saved up here, farmed up. Took me so long to get this stuff, but getting 100% crit damage on a gauntlet is so powerful, man. You could always also do the same thing with crit rate. You could try to get crit damage or even crit rate as an additional ascension stat, right? But getting those on your nukers, getting 100% crit damage on your nukers is so valuable. So that's what I would do for an ascension strategy on my account. But it all starts with the lesser oils, right? It all starts with the lesser, just so you can kind of do a little surveillance, do a little what was I gonna say? Do a little scouting report on your artifacts, right? The last tip that I have with you guys is on ore, okay? So I have to be honest with you guys. Big mistake in hindsight, right? Big mistake. But let me just try to see if I actually have an artifact that I can rework with you guys right now. Okay, we're gonna use this one. We're gonna use this one. So I have a speed helmet here. This is a perfect piece to rework with some chaos ore. So let's talk about ore, right? You should only be using it on gear that is rare, and I shouldn't say rare, but hard to come by or extremely valuable. So the type of artifacts that I am using my chaos ores on is going to be the following: speed gear that is, ideally legendary speed gear that has no speed stats, right? Because it's a substats. It's very hard to find very good gear with speed substats. Now, on this scenario, the rolls are going to stay the same, so I'm hoping I get speed right over here, but we don't know, right? And I'm not usually going, with fully maxed reworks, but I will here. But I will say, if I got like a triple roll, I might be inclined to rework it as well to get that speed. But anyway, I digress. Bolster, righteous gear, lethal gear, relentless gear, stone skin gear. Those are the type of artifact sets that I am using my Chaos Ore on, okay? Because it's not gear I can just go in the dungeon and farm a bunch of, right? If I can easily farm a bunch of it, like I'm not usually using Chaos Ore on Perception because it's easy to get Perception gear, okay? But I'm looking for the gear that only drops in events and tournaments, aka Relentless, or only drops some Hydra once a week, Stone Skin, or only comes around once in a blue moon in the Forge, again, Righteous gear, bolster gear, right? So that's the type of artifacts that I am using my Chaos Ore. I'm not wasting it on other stuff, speed being the only exception in terms of basic artifact sets. But most importantly, do not use your ore. Let me just stop. Let me just do it right here, guys. Jeez. Can we get a speed double roll here? Crit rate. Crit damage. That always sucks when you use it and you don't get speed. But anyway, it's still not bad. Still an upgrade, I would argue, right? You could put this on a nuker or something and be looking. I could put this on like an Eric's, an HP-based nuker. Get all that extra HP, get the crit rate, crit damage. It's still not a bad helmet. It's better than it was before, okay? Anyway, I say all that, guys. The most important tip, and I think this probably goes without saying, but it's really important, guys, is on your ores, do not use them or be, unless you're an absolute kraken in this game, don't use them on the middle row of artifacts, right? So we're talking about gauntlets, we're talking about chest piece, and we're talking about boots, okay? Again, unless you're just absolutely wailing out and crackening out on this game, that would be the only way to do it. If you're just swimming in Chaos Ore, right? But if you're not, you know, you're always gonna run the risk of losing a good main stat, right? So the only way that I would use Chaos Ore is if I got like legendary boots that were like HP flat stat. But even then, you run the risk of getting an attack flat stat, right? Well, what I'm trying to say is you don't want to waste this valuable Chaos Ore on something that is very likely to be valueless again, right? Because of these stats, right? At least on the top row, we already know what we're gonna get. We're gonna get attack, we're gonna get HP, and we're gonna get defense, right? We know exactly what we're gonna get on our main stat. So that variable is out of the equation. Now we can re-roll to get some really juicy substats. So make sure that you're using your Chaos Ore, I would say 95% of the time on the top row, the weapon, the helmet, and the shield, not on the gauntlets, the chest, and the boots, because likely you're just wasting your valuable Chaos Ore. So there you go, guys. Those are 3 or 4 updated strategies or tips for artifacts and Raid Shadow Legends. Hopefully you learned something new in today's video. Let me know if you did. Hey, let me know if you didn't in the comments below. Much love to all you guys, and as always, take care.